So much has happened in the first 15 overs of the second ODI between India and New Zealand. In Rajkot, very quiet first few overs. Then India's recovery, ShubmanGill among the runs. In fact, another 50 for him at a much better strike rate. Kohli's just come in and cracked a gorgeous boundary of the first ball he faced. Rohit Sharma, the lone dismissal so far. Lots of positives for New Zealand as well. And to recap and look back at all that, Bhattacharjya joins us on Cricbuzz Comm Box. So much in those 15 overs.
Absolutely, and I love the way this game has ebbed and flowed. I thought the first 5-6 overs totally belonged to New Zealand. 10 in the first 5 overs, they bowled great lengths. This is not an easy pitch to bat on. The ball's not coming on, the occasional ball is keeping low. And I thought Jamieson was absolutely fantastic because he's getting, that steep bounce. He was getting it there and, Zachary was just keeping it in the Fuchs, was keeping it in the right areas. I thought it was a really, really good bowling performance to start with.
Jaden Lennox, the debutant, was brought in the 10th over and he seems to have bowled all right so far.
He bowled all right so far. He had that first over with, you felt as if Rohit was sizing him up and, waiting for that opportunity.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it wasn't to be. It was one of those days where Rohit, was a bit stuck down, 24 of 37. Just went for it and he went early.
Christian Clark can thank Zachary Fox and Jamieson for the wicket he got because clearly it was scoreboard pressure that forced Rohit to play the kind of shot he did.
Absolutely. And it's rare that you see that a player is getting out in exactly the same shot in 2 consecutive matches, coming down the pitch, bat turning in his hand slightly, getting caught at extra cover. So it tells you that, Rohit was anxious to get it on. And I think what Rohit's been trying to do throughout is take the pressure on himself, not allow the other team to bat under pressure. But today, the way Gill was going, he need not have taken that risk. That's the only thing you'd think about. And you could see him when he was walking out, he was cursing himself for taking that shot.
Safe to say, Joy, that Gill is now back in form. He was in a form-finding mission in that first ODI. Today, he looks a lot more relaxed and a better strike rate as well. He's got 51 already. He's got to make it count.
Absolutely. Look, he's a class act. He averages 56 in this format at a strike rate of 98. So, he's a class act. He's just got it together. And I think, having Virat at the other side is just going to help him. So, as long as Virat stays, it's going to be good for both of them.
Yeah, much the last game, these two batted together, the king and the man they call the prince. Maybe it augurs well. India will have a lot of recovery to do because remember, the average first inning score as per the Cricbuzz match forecast is 322. How do you see India going about business in the next 20 overs?
I don't see this as a 320 pitch, to be honest with you. The pitch looks a lot more uneven to me. There was, some of the bounce that happened out there. Suddenly a ball flattened up and suddenly, once in a while, Jamieson was getting really steep bounce. This is not going to be an easy pitch to bounce on. Also, once a ball is roughed up, I'll be interested in seeing what the spinners get out of it.
Bracewell could come in as well. The captain, remember, Jaden Lennox is a debutant, no Aditya Ashok. So, interesting passage of play coming up over the next 20. Will you see ShubmanGill maybe up his gears or will you see Virat Kohli in vintage daredevil kind of form? We'll find out. Cricbuzz Comm Box returns for all of you at the 35 over mark. Bye for now.